This is a community that had been ignored for 40 years, vacant lots, drug dealing, everything. There were a couple of groups. Newcastle Drug Fighters, the big one, brought attention to the drug issue, and was largely responsible for, these are folks who live there who would go out and, stand in the faces of the people dealing drugs and walk every Friday night and march up and down and force the police to take action. The Newcastle Environmental Justice Coordinating Committee, I believe the name is, was responsible for bringing attention to the Superfund sites. But yet there was no coordinated effort. So we went to meet with now Bishop Lionel Harvey, and Sustainable Long Island, with the help of people like Vanessa Q and my other staff, thought about the notion of creating a community vision. And we knew that we needed partners to do that, because we were a regional intermediary bringing resources and technical assistance, but we couldn't be there on the ground doing everything. We needed local groups. And we formed a partnership with Bishop Harvey, who then brought the 15 clergy and agreed that we would work together to form a vision for the future of Newcastle. And it's really simple in a way how that happened. We used a lot of principles of organizing to get to the point of a visioning process. The first meetings began 2 years before the 4-day visioning process. And Vanessa and one or two other staff people literally met with people up and down Newcastle streets, in the stores, in the congregations, in the industrial park, everywhere. We teamed up. Fortunately, our staff was bilingual, and we didn't have Haitian Creole speakers, so we found a Haitian Creole pastor to help us translate and to speak to the Haitian Creole community. And we held a series along with Unified Newcastle group that was formed, a series of educational forums within the community to speak about what is a visioning process about. How do we come together around the vision, and why is that important? How could that help where there's no money to meet the needs? Because what was important is that we needed to know what people needed, what people felt they needed, identify those stakeholders, people who have ownership, and shareholders, people who don't have ownership but are there and will be there and will be involved every step of the way, assess the need, and neutralize the naysayers. Because as we know, I'm sure it doesn't happen in Brooklyn, but on Long Island, there's always folks who would give you every reason why it can't be done. Sometimes it's us, sometimes it's others. And we did that process. It took 2 years toward getting to the why and the how. This is before there was any money. Newcastle is right next to Carl Place in Westbury, very prosperous communities. The land values are low. Nobody wanted to develop there. The notion was, we have to know why we're doing it, and we have to create a vision that will attract the needed investment necessary. And once you do that, you had to write it down. And what we did was, after these educational sessions and after the 4-day visioning process, which culminated the process, we did write it down. But let me talk a little bit about what this is about. What is faith-based visioning about? It's arriving at a visioning and then writing it down. The next slide. So very much infused in the process, because it is a faith-based process. It's prayer and supplication and pleading and all of the stress involved with the process of trying to do the hard work. I heard someone say, I think it was Sheena, that it's so easy for one thing to derail the development process. And that's not like once in a while, that's every step of the way. Every step of the way, there's one thing that's going to derail the deal or deals or the process. And you have to be armed and equipped for that. As we think about visioning, and now we've adopted the visioning process to individual congregations. In fact, I'm using my congregation as a guinea pig. We just finished a visioning process, and we're preparing the vision plan for what we call CCSH 2043, which is our 100th anniversary. So we want to prepare ourselves if I know there's mixed religions here, so I won't go into all of that, but we want to prepare ourselves if we're here for our 100th anniversary and doing ministry on our corner of South Hempstead then. You have to think about your history, the history of your community, the history of your congregation, who you are, and how you honor that whatever you do going forward. Identifying your shared values and creating a strategy. That's what the visioning process is all about. And then after you've done these things, and I'm doing shorthand because these are all processes that are facilitated processes, you got to kind of know what you're doing, and you get folks who know how to do that, which all are a part of what goes into determining what you as a congregation, what you as a faith leader should do on your land, on land that you know about, or land that is in your community, or land that you want to partner with somebody on, whether it's your own church or whether it's to do something else. We're working with a large Presbyterian church in Roosevelt, another poor community in Nassau County that has the only school that's under state, what do you call it? I don't know what to call it. Seizure? I don't know. It has been appropriated by the State Department of Education because of its poor performance. But this Community Development Corporation is building a clinic. They had no money, but they're going to build a new clinic to address healthcare disparity. Whatever the need is that you have to address, it has to come out of who you are, your mission, and you have to address that in a plan.